All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are going to kick off today's press conferences with Kyle Larson, driver of the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Kyle, before we open it up to questions, you've been nominated for ESPN's Best Driver ESPY Award for the second year in a row. You won it last year. What does this incredible feat mean to you?
I mean, honestly, it's cool to be acknowledged. I was super surprised by it, so I feel like there was, I know there was a lot more deserving drivers, at least in American auto racing, deserving of it than I was last year. But regardless, no, it's an honor. I don't think I should win it, but either way, it's cool to be on the list. You know, I feel bad for guys who didn't get acknowledged as, or for this award, because like I said, there was a lot more deserving of it than me.
Well, talking about the list of drivers that you're nominated along with as one of the best drivers in the world, you are nominated in good company along with Brittany Force, Joseph Newgarden, and Max Verstappen. What are your thoughts on being up for this award with those drivers?
Yeah, I mean, they're the best or one of the best in all of their forms of racing. So anytime you can join a list with names like that, it's special. But again, I think a guy like Joey Logano probably should be on it more so than me. So, but hey, if I win, I'm going to stick the trophy right next to the other one too. So, yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool for sure, but a fluke in a way.
All right, well, we're going to open it up to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We will get a wireless microphone to you. We will start with Justin Schuler.
Justin Schuler kicking the tires. Kyle, congratulations on that nomination. I want to talk about Atlanta, though. How do you feel it's matured as a super speedway style track?
As far as the surface or
Just the
racing?
surface, the racing style, the package.
Well, we've only made 2 laps, so I don't know how it's different than earlier this year. It seemed like the Chevys had their hands full yesterday just to complete a lap. So I don't know if that's the surface or just teams trying to make their car better and not making it better and making it tougher to drive. But we'll see once the race starts. Visually, it doesn't look like it's aged much. Just the times I went through too, I felt like the patch was rougher than I remembered. So curious what that'll feel like as we move up the racetrack, because in qualifying we just run low. So we'll see. But yeah, pavement ages, and I hope this place ages quickly to make the racing different each time we come back.
The older style asphalt that we saw before the repave?
I have no clue. I haven't, I've been in NASCAR for 10 years, and I haven't, aside from Darlington, I haven't seen really any track get super abrasive over time. Yes, the groove might change here or there. Kansas, for example, is good, but I wouldn't say it's abrasive. It's nice that you can move around the track. It wasn't repaved all that long ago. But then, a track like Daytona or Talladega or Pocono, Phoenix, places like that, I don't foresee those tracks ever getting abrasive. I just think the engineering behind it. But, pavement nowadays must be a lot more durable than what it used to be. And I would love for all these tracks to get more abrasive. I think that's when the racing gets better. But these places seem so perfectly paved. I don't see it getting abrasive ever.
Do we have additional questions for Kyle? Lee?
Lee Spencer, catchfence.com. Can you tell me what your expectations are at Loudon? And they're going to do a test afterwards, but I mean, what do we need to see on the flatter mile tracks like that, like Phoenix, to try to get a little more side-by-side racing and make it easier to pass?
I don't know. I saw just a quick kind of overview of the changes, I guess, that they're going to try at New Hampshire, and I don't know much about race cars, so I don't know what it is exactly, but it sounds like on the the runs that they've made on the computers, it seems like it should be better in traffic. So I hope when they go to the test, it correlates well, and the guys who are there feel better behind cars, all of that. So I don't know. I mean, that's the goal for every race track and race car is to have if you're faster than the guy, it'd be a little easier to pass them. So we'll see. But yeah, these cars, I feel like we've made improvements on the mile and a halves compared to the previous model car. But for sure, the short track stuff has struggled for passing. But overall, I would say the cars are more fun to drive because you have your hands full a little bit more. But it's definitely a little harder to pass.
And from a guy that comes from the grassroots, what does it mean to a team that's in World of Outlaws or All-Stars to have a guy like Tony Stewart, a promoter like that, put up $1 million for a win?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's it's obviously really cool. It's a lot of money. It's way more money than any dirt racer gets to race for. It's life-changing money for sure for a guy who you might take him a World of Outlaw guy 4 or 5 years to make that much. So yeah, it's awesome. It's Tony, his whole staff. Flow Racing, they're a big part of it too. So to promote, race last year with the late model million, and then give the sprint car guys their chance this year, it's pretty neat. And I'm obviously happy I get to compete in it too. So we'll see. It's going to be a really tough race. I think there's a lot of or a few guys that have a great shot to win, but then it's also a unique format that will open the door for others too. So. We'll see, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity as well as everybody else is.
Okay, let's go right over here.
Sitting right there.
Owen Johnson, cupscene.com. What's your mindset going into a super speedway race like this? Do you try to hold back and avoid the wrecks, or do you think you can run up front all day long?
Well, I mean, I'd like to get up front and stay up front and have a better chance of not getting caught up in a crash, but I feel like I've crashed at super speedways more than anybody probably ever has in their career. So I've crashed in the front, I've crashed in the middle, I've crashed in the back, and I haven't figured out how not to crash. So I don't really know. I mean, I've tried studying these places a lot to figure out how to not crash and where all that happens, but I don't know. Just I think a lot of times you got to get a little bit lucky, but it's decisions that lead up to those moments when crashes happen that you're the reason why you got in it or didn't get in it. So just try and make right decisions. I would love to be up front though all race long.
Okay, we'll go next to Stephen Toronto.
Stephen Toronto, CBS Sports. Just remembering the finish to last night's Xfinity race, we saw things go awry with the strategy the colleague cars had. I don't know if you've had your competition meetings yet, as whether it's been with Hendrick or with Chevrolet, but has there been any referral to what happened last night in the Xfinity race and any message of don't do that when you're trying to draft and work with your teammates?
Well, I think there was more that went into the moves that were made last night than just Justin not working with Hemrick. It sounded like he was running out of fuel, so I don't think it necessarily was not working with his teammate. But yeah, I mean, we always every week you talk about the upcoming race and what you can do to help each other or cut breaks and stuff. And Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta are a little more extreme, I guess, in conversations. But yeah, I mean, you want to give your team the best opportunity to win. You want to give Chevrolet the best opportunity to win. So, yes, I think working together is key, but you also have to look out for yourself and how to get yourself the best finish, sometimes too. So, and also it's hard to make those decisions at 190 miles an hour, quickly. So, it's easy to look at something happening in the moment or look at it afterward and really critique somebody, but when you're not behind the wheel, it's those decisions have to be made in under a second.
Gotcha. Thanks, Kyle.
Now let's come to the gentleman right here in the middle.
Charles Woodham with Associated Press. You were just a kid in 2001 when Harvick drove the 29 to his first win here, but I'm wondering from your vantage point, first of all, do you have memories of that race and or watching it as a kid? And what's your vantage point seeing iconic cars like that leading you guys around to green today?
Yeah, I don't remember. I was only 9 then, so I don't remember if I watched it live. But I've obviously seen the highlights, a lot of times, and it was just an epic finish, an epic moment. A moment that meant a lot to the sport and to that race team, and the legacy that Dale Earnhardt had, and then the start of Kevin Harvick's amazing career. So it's pretty neat to in Kevin's final time here at Atlanta to have Richard pacing the field in that car. I think Atlanta has been Kevin's best track his whole career until they repaved it. So it's pretty neat, and those cars and the track, everything was just way different back then. So it's not even the same place. It might have the same address, but it's not the same track as it was then. So, but no, it's definitely cool to have that car leading the field.
Any final questions for Kyle? Okay, right here.
Jeff Watkins, Toyota's Race Week. I kind of wanted to go back to the crash topic. Could you kind of talk about like your recovery process after being involved in one of those, kind of like the one at Talladega, like what it does to your body and kind of what you do specifically to recover from something like that?
I mean, thankfully, I've never had anything too serious happen to me. I've never been diagnosed with a concussion. I've never, had anything like that happen. So typically, for me, in some wrecks, you're not even sore at all. Like even the Talladega one, I wasn't really sore the next day. So I think, me being hit from the side, my body didn't really have anywhere to go. So my neck wasn't stiff, nothing hurt. So I think that's just a testament to the cars and the safety, and you always want to see it getting safer. But 10 years ago I might have felt differently, or maybe longer ago than that. But no, I've been fortunate, knock on wood, to not have anything serious happen to me yet. I know there's an opportunity every weekend for that, but I'm sure if the situation ever comes up where I am injured, I know that Hendrick Motorsports has great people and resources and contacts for whatever I'm sure you're dealing with. So, Alex has had his, injuries. Chase had his earlier this year, so they have, unfortunately, a lot of experience with it. But yeah, hopefully I don't run into anything like that.
All right, Kyle, thanks for coming in and good luck today.
Thanks.